Does money really make the world go round? What the heck is mercantilism and why should we care? If I know physics, will I know physiocracy? These and other questions will be answered right after this. I am Professor Jerome Arkenberg, and I've been teaching a wide variety of history courses at colleges across this country for the past 30 years. In this video, I'm going to tell you about mercantilism, colonialism, and war, and physiocracy, farming, and the law of supply and demand. At the end, I'll have the wrap-up quote on this video, so make sure to stick around for that. But first, make sure to click like, share, and subscribe especially, and that little bell thingy, so I can continue to bring you more great videos just like this one. Mercantilism emerged as the first real economic theory in European history in the 17th century, holding that a country's well-being rested on how much gold and silver bullion it possessed. So the state's goal, as stated by King Louis XIV of France's Minister of Finance, Louis Colbert, was to amass as much bullion as possible, largely through taking it from others, financially or militarily. Of course, the idea that one could grow the economic pie, so to speak, bigger so that each country's share was worth more, even at the same percentage, was unknown, as was the idea that a country's wealth consisted of more than just the amount of gold and silver it possessed. Nonetheless, this was the main theory down through the 18th century. Mercantilism was not about free markets, but a highly regulated one, by which, through a variety of duties, tariffs, subsidies, and monopolies, states were to promote exports and discourage imports to keep bullion flowing into the country instead of out of it by always running a positive balance of payments. And you see that here diagrammed. I'll let you figure this diagram out. The way to do this was to import raw materials cheaply and export finished goods dearly. And for this, colonies played a key role, both in providing raw materials cheaply and buying finished goods. This picture is of the wealth of India being presented to Britannia, supposedly willingly. Another way was to restrict exports and imports to carriage on one's own ships. So governments gave subsidies and tax breaks to fishermen, shipbuilders, and shippers, and used their own navies to protect them and the sea lanes. A counter to mercantilism that emerged in the 18th century was physiocracy, which held that only agriculture, not gold or silver bullion, was the source of a country's wealth. And by the way, physiocracy has nothing to do with physics. But it's all about agriculture. So it followed that neither trade nor manufacturing could produce wealth. They could enhance the wealth produced by agriculture, but nothing more. And labor produced no value whatsoever. This is a great medieval, ancient theory, because that's how they mostly ran. 90% of the population was engaged in agriculture to feed 100%. But nonetheless, that was the counter, that government should favor agriculture and not shipping or anything else. Which, of course, if you are a landowner, is a great theory. Now, since wealth was based on land, it followed that physiocracy emphasized private property, individualism, and the market as a country's economic foundation, because any controls on land, wages, prices, trade, industry, etc., simply hindered economic growth. Physiocrats, among whom was the most famous and probably the most influential, such as, here we see here, Francois Quesnay, were the first Europeans to enunciate the law of supply and demand. Not that merchants didn't understand this earlier, or that others in the rest of the world didn't enunciate, but this was the first Europeans to do so. Europe was a bit behind. Anyway, the first to enunciate the law of supply and demand, before Adam Smith, and that there was such a thing as economic growth, achievable through growing the economic pie, so to speak, bigger. And here's the wrap-up quote. Let the sovereign and the nation never lose sight of the fact that the earth is the sole source of all riches. For it is agriculture which multiplies riches, and it is the augmentation of riches that assures the wealth of the population. Men and wealth cause agriculture to prosper, extend commerce, animate industry, increase and perpetuate all wealth. Upon that abundant source of wealth depends the success of all the parties concerned in the administration of the kingdom. Dr. Francois Quesnay. So, let me know what you think of this quote in the comments section below. Also, what you liked about this video, and what other historical topics or subjects you'd like me to tackle in future videos. Be sure to click like, share, and especially subscribe, as it will help me bring you more great videos, and click on that little bell thingy so you'll know when the next History Waits for No One video is posted. If you want to know more, there are recommended studies on this topic in the description below, along with other ways to connect with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the past.